Okay, so Darlene, she fits that profile. She's somebody that a lot of people are interested in. What's her story? You know what I mean? And this and that, and she had a fascinating story because she was going out with Ice T before he blew up, was slightly known as a rapper, and then held him down, and then he got his first deal and brought her out and took her, and then he was on all the tours, and she was with him everywhere. She was part of his whole kind of marketing, branding get down. You know what I mean? So she has an amazing story about just being a part of the like earliest days of hip hop. You know what I mean? Really, really starting to pop off, and it was like Curtis Snow. There's another one like when I saw the Snow on the Bluff film, I was just like,
Hold
oh,
off on Snow. I got to
okay,
ask you one
okay,
quick question
no,
about
no
the
problem.
Darlene
Of
situation.
course, sure,
Definitely. This is what I want to ask. I talked to Darlene about this, but I
yeah,
want to get your viewpoint.
okay,
You give lanes to people who really don't have a lane,
right,
right? Now, if somebody doesn't understand that concept, see Over the Edge, see Darlene maybe for the first time for the classic album cover.
right.
Have you got any flack that it's not more of a superhead type story, or are people accepting it for being just a raw hip hop story for what it truly is?
Yeah, no one has complained to me and being like, no, it's not gossipy enough or anything. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? No. I mean, but see, that's the thing. There might be some people who feel that way. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but that's the whole thing was like with Darlene's story, she
Mm-hmm.
might have been able to get a deal with a major publisher, but they would have wanted her to be very gossipy
Yes.
and tell things she didn't want to do. So we give her the opportunity to do it the way she wants to do it. You know what I mean? Whereas like with a Curtis Snow, there probably weren't even any publishers that even wanted to give it. I mean, maybe some small ones that I don't know, but you know what I mean? Like, no one was how even thinking that his book's a good idea. But yet, it's been a big seller for us, and I think is an important book that we did. Like, I'm really glad we did the Curtis Snow book. I want to do more of those. I've been talking to Pistol Pete, legendary cat from the Bronx and part of Terror Squad and everything, and who spent like a lifetime behind bars and is out now and living the good guy life. And we're working on his bio deal. Have been some discussions with Greg Mack. I'm trying to had discussions with Patty Azer,
Mm-hmm.
the chick Fab Freddy was in the
Mm-hmm.
movie with Fat Wild Style movie and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So some of these deals may come about, some of them may not.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely interested in the bios, as you know, because they've been selling well for us,
Yeah.
and people are interested. And so, we're working on, these unauthorized biographies that we just dropped, the new edition, and the BBD, which I'm really excited
Yeah.
about. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, hold up, P. You
yeah.
got your shades on now. You being very cool, but you're not giving Curtis Snow the animation it deserves. Is this
Whew.
dude really crazy, Pete?
Oh my God, yes.
Brody, when you turn me on to the little clip, the movie, I was like, is this shit real? Like, is that really him?
Curtis Snow's book was it's crazy because I feel it was a stroke of genius to do his book because his movie, everyone want to know what's real and what's not real.
Yes.
So of all the movies ever, this one really made sense. Let's have a book after to tell the real story, right? Because it was this weird mix of stuff that they had filmed in the hood, and then things that they kind of reenacted or kind of made up, or some of the it's like they in real life they came for him and they killed his brother,
Yeah.
and they made it his baby mama in the movie. You know what I mean? So they
Yeah.
changed some
Yeah.
things. You know what I mean? Around. But
Hey man, can you tell the story when you brought him out here? Is it okay to tell that story on air? Could you
man,
please
I mean,
tell him, tell where he was at,
oh
man?
man, Curtis is a wild boy, and so I had been trying to link with him ever since the book. I had never met him,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't even think we really had any conversations on the phone, maybe one or something, but I don't think so. And I felt like a fan,
Uh huh.
a groupie. And anyway, I was on the Instagram and noticed he was out here, out here, and out here, and I was like, finally got his manager on the phone. And was like, man, I'd had this idea. Well, I know how to get Curtis.
Yeah.
Tell him I got some money for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had the idea to do the audio book, which is coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, look, I'll pay you X amount to record the audio book. That got him on the phone immediately. I think maybe he had run low on funds out here or something, and so this was kind of a godsend. All of a sudden, I was his best friend. But I love Curtis too, man. I really do. And yeah, so then the next day, like I went to go scoop him up, and he was at he was on Central Avenue at a hotel in the midst of the Hoe Stroll. You know what I mean? For
On the
sure.
track.
Oh, he was on the track, and first thing asked me where to get some dope at or whatever, some get high or whatever, and you know, he came and recorded the audio book, was up real late, was passing out, and then disappeared for a couple days, and I couldn't find him. And then eventually, before he left, then he came back and he finished it. We had a great day though, hanging out with. When the first day we hooked up, I told John Singleton I was hanging out with him. And he said, "Oh, I want to meet Curtis." And so I told Curtis, "Oh, we're gonna go hang out with John." He said, "Okay, well, I'm fucking with Snoop. Let's go over to Snoop." So, I took John and Curtis. We all went over to Snoop's compound and hung out with Snoop and DJ Pooh and smoked, massive amounts of weed and.
So back to Curtis Snow.
Yeah.
Did you find yourself like it's crazy that this motherfucker's so crazy, but yet and still we have a common bond?
Curtis, it was exactly the kind of guy I thought he would be when I met him. You know what I mean? And I really enjoyed hanging out with him, and I think his story is amazing, and he's a great example of why I started the company. You know what I mean? So, I want to tell the stories of the people that are getting ignored. I got an amazing cold call the other day from this gentleman who's a professor back east, and he's writing a book, which we're now going to publish with him, on the life of Casper Holstein, who was the black character in Boardwalk Empire.
Ah.
The Caribbean dude.
Okay. By Jeffrey Wright.
Right. He started. He was a big Harlem's number. He started the Harlem's Numbers basically after that.
Okay.
So his story is crazy, and kind of like not that documented. So it's gonna be a shorter book. I mean, the guy is like researching it. Like he already went to St. Croix. He's a professor. Like, I mean, this is going to be the most well-documented nonfiction book we've ever done.
Okay, I want to get into that one.
Yeah.
And then I want to lead into the book I'm currently reading now, The Dark Wizard of Oz. So what we're going to do is take a break, roll one up.
Right.
We're going to do read with weed.
Right.
And we'll be back with CEO Over the Edge Books, DJP Paul Stewart, Cutty Mack.